Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour. We have another super day, and I'm so excited that you diehards have stayed around for the third day. We're going to be discussing some additional aspects of the promise of the digital revolution and how we can fulfill that promise. We have a very exciting speaker to begin with this morning, and he's one of Canada's most important political leaders. His name is Tony Clement. And before I introduce him, I'd like to just set the stage for the topic. Yesterday, we talked about some big changes in government. And the opportunity for the digital revolution is not to put government online or to pave the cow path or somehow for governments to have websites or even participate in social media. But rather, this is a new infrastructure that's enabling us to change the deep structure and architecture of government, really, of how we get capability to create public value. And in the old model, governments were these insular bureaucratic organizations that took tax revenue from citizens. People inside the boundaries of government created services, and they delivered those back to citizens. Well, now governments, through opening up their data, can become a platform. And when they release data, they provide an asset that enables civil society, private sector, other government organizations and individual citizens to self-organize on that data. So this is not about some, technology to somehow put government online. This is the early days of a change in the division of labor in society about how we create services, how we create laws, how we create public value. And Tony Clement has been charged with kind of figuring this out for Canada, amongst other things. He's the president of the Treasury Board, and as part of that job, he's been tasked with the responsibility of leading and developing and executing a government-wide savings initiative. And that's, of course, one of the huge promises here: better, cheaper government. And he's looking at transformational ways to support and deliver services to taxpayers in the most efficient means that are possible. I'm very thankful to Tony on a personal level, because there's a wonderful area of Ontario in Canada, about 3 hours north of Toronto, called Muskoka, and it's the lake country. And I have what we Canadians call as a cottage on the lake. And Tony Clement is actually my personal member of Parliament for that region. So thank you very much, Tony, and would everyone please welcome Tony Clement.
Well, Don, thank you very much. All politics is local, right? That's what Tip O'Neill once said, and so thank you for remembering my constituency, and you're always welcome in Muskoka to spend as much time as you can. But welcome all of you to this day of your Congress. Je vous remercie beaucoup pour votre aimable présentation, Don, et j'avais pris la parole lors du dernier congrès qui s'était tenu à Amsterdam. Et je suis heureux d'être de retour. I enjoyed myself very much in Amsterdam 2 years ago at that World Congress, and I'm very pleased. I was excited at the time. I'm, of course, even more excited now that you are here in Canada, in this wonderful city of Montreal. C'est aussi un immense plaisir de me trouver dans la belle ville de Montréal. I do hope you have some time, or have had some time, to sample La Belle Province and some of the great things that one can do in this city. Montreal is also known as one of the many jurisdictions, of course, around the world that has recently embraced the open data movement, as Don just mentioned. And I am here to talk about that movement and what Canada is up to. Montreal itself saw an opportunity to foster greater openness and accountability, and I think, as importantly, to drive innovation and to spur economic growth. and it seized that opportunity by launching an open data policy and portal nearly a year ago today. In doing so, it joined an increasing number of governments at all levels that are, as I put it, opening the vault on vast stores of potentially valuable information that has, until very recently, been diligently collected by governments and then tucked away like your grandmother's silver. Well, that's changing. En effet, que vous soyez ici au Canada, en Espagne, au Kenya, en Inde ou au Brésil, il n'y a jamais eu autant de données accessibles à consulter et à utiliser. Aujourd'hui, on compte plus de 200 sites locaux, régionaux et nationaux de données ouvertes dans le monde, et ce nombre ne cesse d'augmenter. Rien qu'au Canada, il y en a au moins de 30. Les portes sont désormais ouvertes et les possibilités sont vraiment très intéressantes. And it's fair to say that we're just starting to understand what the possibilities are when it comes to spurring innovation, fueling growth, making government more accountable, and ultimately improving people's lives. So this morning I would like to talk to you about what the Government of Canada's vision is to ensure we remain a strong partner in what is a global movement. And this is certainly a time of great change, as we know, as I'm sure you've been discussing these past few days. We are living in the digital age, where information and communication technologies allow people to interact, transmit, and share information like never before. Just last month, Facebook reached the milestone of 1 billion monthly active members, which of course represents 1 in 7 people on the planet. Today, 60 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. And Canada's own Justin Bieber has nearly 29 million people, I should say, following him on Twitter, which is a considerably larger number than I have. Maybe I should sing more. Maybe that's a bad idea. We'll just scrub that idea. But when you look at the facts, they're pretty amazing in and of themselves, especially when you consider that none of these technologies were around before 2004. And what perhaps is even more amazing is the way that such technologies are now driving productivity, accelerating innovation, and generating new products and new processes and new business models. Let me just give you an example from the Government of Canada. Canada's Hansard, the official transcripts of our Parliament, got a high-tech facelift this fall, and among the changes, video clips now pop up next to the text that allows users to share content on Facebook and Twitter. So as an elected official, it's now a lot easier for me to share what I've been saying in Parliament, and it's easier for my constituents to track my performance. In the past few months, I've also been holding moderated tweet chats in English et en français on government priorities. This includes a tweet chat that I held on the government's consultation about open government. And next Monday, I will be holding a tweet chat to discuss the government's red tape reduction action plan. So the value of these technologies is self-evident. And I want you to know that our Canadian government is doing its share to promote the adoption and use of such technologies as part of our strong commitment to developing Canada's digital economy. My colleague, the Minister of Industry, the Honourable Christian Paradis, discussed some of our activities earlier this week as part of a panel discussion. They include an exciting digital technology adoption pilot program, which was launched last year and is an $80 million program to help our Canadian small and medium-sized enterprises integrate digital technologies into their businesses. The program is already helping close to 300 firms. Now, as President of the Treasury Board, I also play a role in supporting innovation that involves digital technologies. Je surveille les activités de l'ensemble du gouvernement canadien et il m'incombe de m'assurer que nous exploitons le potentiel de cette énorme quantité de données que les organisations fédérales produisent dans les domaines comme la santé, l'environnement, l'agriculture et les ressources naturelles. À cette fin, nous avons lancé notre projet pilote pour le portail de données ouvertes en mars 2011, qui permet d'accéder à toutes ces données situées dans un seul endroit. So, open data, which, as I mentioned, was launched in our world in March of 2011. Open data is, of course, what we consider like a natural resource. It's kind of like the new oil for the digital age. And I do believe it is the 21st century's new natural resource. Some have even heralded open data as technologically disruptive as the railway was all those years ago. And when you think about it, that's true. What is the one app on your smartphone you simply can't live without? Now, I'm a big denizen of Twitter, but really what I can't live without nowadays is the map application, which helps me as I travel around the country meeting Canadians. I'm sure it helps you as you travel around the world. Well, as you probably know, that GPS data, which is the foundation of mapping apps, comes from government data. It has since morphed into hugely popular business interests like the Weather Channel and the Weather Network, and indispensable map apps that have unlocked an estimated $90 billion in value in the United States alone. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Canada recognizes the opportunity that open data offers, which is why we have also joined, along with over 50 other countries now, the Open Government Partnership. Beaucoup des membres ont des représentants ici aujourd'hui, et nous avons aussi tout pris l'engagement de fournir de façon proactive de l'information de grande valeur, notamment des données brutes en temps opportun et dans les formats que le public peut facilement localiser, comprendre et utiliser. Let me tell you what we have done since we launched our pilot project back in March 2011. So far, the Government of Canada has released more than 273,000 data sets on our open data portal. They come from 21 participating federal organizations and growing. To date, our portal has attracted more than 1 million user sessions, and approximately 150,000 data sets have been downloaded on everything from information on building permits, wait times for non-emergency surgeries, pollution emissions, and vehicle recalls. New data sets, just as of last July, range from the number of dairy cows by province to processing wait times for residency applications. And to put in a plug for my own department, the Treasury Board has released data on the financial expenditures of all federal departments and agencies as part of our efforts to make financial reporting more transparent and more accountable. Now, we have some popular data sets. Treasury Board wasn't on that list, I'm sad to say. But certainly you can, just by looking at the popularity of data sets, get a sense of what people are finding of interest and downloading. One of the most popular ones is looking into permanent residency in Canada. So these data sets are providing important information for people with an interest to coming to Canada. It gives them information to help plan their lives, and it shines a light on government operations so that citizens, if they don't like what they find, can demand better service. Now, I don't know if an app of residency processing times is the next Google Maps, just waiting to be developed by budding entrepreneurs. But it is safe to say that many of these data sets definitely have potential. You know, think about the possibilities with the government, with the information rather garnered by the Government of Canada at each of the country's 26 major land border crossings. Now, we all hate to wait in long lines at the border. But if we knew even before we left our home which crossing would be the quickest, it would save us time, increase our productivity, and improve our quality of life. Et je parle de ce que cela représente pour une personne. Imaginez ce qu'il en serait si vous transposiez cette situation à l'ensemble du pays et à tous les citoyens. Unleashing this kind of information has the potential to have such a measurable impact on a country's growth and productivity. And that kind of consumer value, accessibility to a previously untapped resource, and that margin for improving services is, one could say, a perfect storm for entrepreneurial activity. I've no doubt that Canadian entrepreneurs will be quick to seize on these possibilities that open data offers, to mine this information and turn it into useful, consumer-friendly apps. Et notre gouvernement doit s'assurer que nous fournissons notre part d'affaires. La grande majorité des portails de données dans le monde ont été créés récemment. En fait, la plupart ont été créés au cours des 3 dernières années, y compris au Canada. As such, many of us find ourselves in a similar position all the way around the world. We've done a lot of thinking about how to apply these lessons learned and improve the experience of users of our data. In other words, our data portal was launched as a pilot project. And certainly, we considered it at the time just an initial take on this. And I would have to say, judging by the feedback, it's not the most interactive, user-friendly site. The good news is, and I'm happy to make this announcement here at WCIT today, is that the Government of Canada will be launching the next generation open data platform. This new site will use the open data platform, initially developed by the United States government and the Government of India's National Informatics Centre. It will take our current platform, which is based on outdated code and proprietary technologies with limited skilled support, to an open source code developed and maintained through international partnerships and based on emerging technologies. For users, this means enhanced search capabilities and the highest standards for open source software. It will allow for real-time updating of data, while government departments will be able to bulk publish data, making it easier for them to upload information. This greater usability means far more opportunities to develop applications and other tools. La nouvelle plateforme contribuera largement à promouvoir la transparence et une plus grande participation des citoyens en rendant accessible au public plus de données, de documents, d'outils et du processus du gouvernement. Et le plus intéressant peut-être, c'est que la plateforme va encore s'améliorer lorsque d'autres pays l'utiliseront et amélioreront ses fonctionnalités. Canada is certainly determined to ensure that our new open data portal meets the needs and expectations of users and that it provides the best possible opportunity to support entrepreneurs. As such, we plan to make use of new innovations, such as crowdsourcing, particularly among Canada's open data community, to fine-tune our approach. And we will be also using crowdsourcing to help us with our second big announcement. That is to say, we are introducing a new licensing agreement for data users. We need to give users the maximum opportunity to reuse data with the least amount of restrictions. And so we are simplifying the licensing agreement to ensure it promotes the reuse of federal information as widely as possible. Our new license will be officially released in the near future. It will go from a very legalistic license to clear, simple language that significantly simplifies the accreditation process for using the data. Simply put, users who mash up data from different federal government departments will no longer need to credit each individual department, but instead be able to credit simply the Government of Canada. As we develop it, we will continue to align with international best practices, as well as coordinate with the other Open Data Partnership members to allow more seamless collaboration cross borders. In fact, I'm proud to say that our license will be based on the UK's Open Government License for public sector information, which has already proven to be a straightforward license that can simplify the reuse of public sector data. Now, you don't need to take my word for it. If you look at data.gc.ca, very soon you will be able to solicit your feedback and your comments on the proposed licensing agreement. Obviously, we also have a new site that will have updated content and features, including the new apps section that illustrates how federal data is being used. There will also be links to all other open data websites across Canada at the provincial and municipal level. So this is a real remake of how people can access open data in our country and make the best use of it. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited about the future of open data here in Canada. We're on the cusp of amazing changes that I believe will allow us to capitalize on the opportunities that open data offers. The sky is truly the limit in what we can accomplish by combining technology with data and accessibility. This is an opportunity for entrepreneurs, innovators, and researchers, and it has the potential to empower citizens, to allow them to make informed decisions about everything from what border crossing they want to use to where they want to seek medical treatment. And we would not be in this position without the contributions and efforts being made around the world to release government data to the public. In a very short time, we have seen the creation of an astonishing number of open data websites that enable people to find and develop information that is of value to them. And while every site is different, they share a common philosophy and commitment to openness and transparency. They are founded on the idea that countries with open governments will increasingly prosper and succeed. They will become healthier, they will become more productive, and they will become more secure. Today, people around the world are demanding more openness in government. They are staking their claim to the data collected and held on their behalf. And they are calling for greater opportunities to learn about and participate in government. Les pays qui ne réussissent pas à donner suite à ces attentes du public trouveront qu'il est difficile de prospérer. Ils auront du mal à stimuler l'innovation et la croissance économique, ainsi qu'à maintenir la paix et la sécurité. Canada understands this, which is why we have made a commitment to expand access to federal government data and are determined to ensure that all citizens can reap the benefits of data sharing today and in the future. Merci. Thank you for your time.